May I come in, sir?
Yes, please come.
Good morning, sir. Morning, sir.
Morning, you are
Morning, sir.
Vishnu.
Yes, sir.
Sit
Morning, sir.
down.
Morning, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
So I am sure we can call you Vishnu.
Yes, sir.
No offense.
No, sir.
Vishnu, introduce yourself in a minute.
Good morning, sirs. Good morning, ma'am. My name is VISHNU SASIKUMAR. I was born in Kerala. I have been brought up in Gujarat. I did all of my schooling in Gujarat. I did my 11th and 12th in humanities, post which I did my graduation in BA Political Science and Economics from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University. I graduated in 2021 and since then have been preparing for the civil services. Based on the civil service examination 2022, I have been allocated to the Danik service and I am currently undergoing training as a Danik's probationer officer from 26 December 2023.
Very good, Vishnu. In fact, uh, a large chunk of the world population
Yes, sir.
is currently going through the election process.
Yes, sir.
I think literally more than half the world.
Yes, sir.
And so is happening in our own neighborhood, in fact,
Yes, sir.
including us.
Yes, sir.
So if I look at the recent elections in a neighborhood, we look at Maldives,
Yes, sir.
then Bangladesh, now Pakistan. If I tell you, give me one salient outcome of these elections from the Indian perspective, what will you tell me? Maldives, what happened? Indian perspective, Bangladesh, and now it's happening in Pakistan, counting is going on.
Yes, sir. Sir, in Maldives, a pro-China leader, Muizu, has been elected as the president of Maldives. He is seen tilting towards China, which is a matter of concern for India. Sir, in Bangladesh, we have got a very pro-India friendly leader. Sheikh Hasina Bibi, the Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh, has secured a fourth term, which is going to give a conducive base for Indo-Bangladesh relations. So in Pakistan, it is expected that Nawaz Sharif-led party would win the elections, and it is expected that there would be a thaw in India-Pakistan relations because he has been expressing his interest to normalize the relations with India.
He tried earlier also, and we remember the consequences.
Yes, sir.
You see, you have seen articles that uh, whosoever wins in Pakistan, finally it's the army
Yes, sir.
which will set the tone.
Yes, sir.
And there is an article today in Indian Express written by one of the very eminent Pakistani origin diplomats. In fact, he is talking about something very unusual. He says, can we have the Bangladesh formula or model for Pakistan? Now, if you don't know this, then I'll explain to you
Yes, sir.
what he really means. He says we have gone through a long cycle of army appointing, dismissing, jailing, then appointing, jailing. He says Bangladesh has done a very different solution to this problem, where the army sets the red lines, and within those red lines, they don't bother who wins. And anybody who wins, they support them, as long as they don't cross those red lines. Why can't we do it in Pakistan? Which means army sets the red lines, then whosoever wins, stay within the red lines. They don't bother you. You govern the country, run the economy, industry, education, everything. Don't cross those red lines. Good idea or a bad idea?
Sir, I think that would not be a very good idea because then when the Pakistan military is setting the red lines, then the line would be too narrow, might be too narrow for the civilian government to maneuver. And again, it might lead
What
to.
will be in this case, for example, army's core red lines? Can you think of something? That this is where the army will draw lines?
So, firstly, it would be relating to the relations vis-a-vis India, the foreign relations of the country. Then, so secondly, would be the economy, whereby the army would like to control the budget of Pakistan so that it could have a lot of chunk of resources to itself. And then, sir, thirdly would be to look into the law and order issue, whereby the Pakistan military would
In
have.
your view,
Yes,
in
sir.
your view, what could be a reasonable solution to India-Pakistan conflict? A reasonable solution. For example, if you look at, say, Jammu and Kashmir,
Yes, sir.
which is at the core of this whole conflict.
Yes, sir.
Now, Pakistan can reasonably expect not to get what they want,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
And we can probably get it, but reasonably we should also believe that there is no merit in going that way. Now, tell me, what do you think is a reasonable solution?
So dialogue and diplomacy is definitely one of the reasonable solutions for that. But
No, dialogue and diplomacy are the means to a solution,
Yes,
but
sir.
in itself they are not a solution.
so firstly, Pakistan must shun its terror ideology. Only then will be
Fine,
equal
they will
to.
say all right, but I have certain conditions.
Yes, sir.
So how do we? Because they have a certain things in mind. We have certain things in mind. So you heard about the back channel.
Yes, sir.
For the
Back
back channel, can you think of a solution?
Sir, I think initially for the back channel way, the civil societies can engage with each other so that the animosity
So
between.
people to people contact.
Yes, sir.
What
People
else?
to people contacts. Sir, I think, sir, based on the goodwill that has been generated, the trust that has been gained, then the leaders of both the countries can come together and talk. But, sir, I do believe that the Kashmir issue is a bilateral matter which does not need any external mediation. And secondly, sir,
All right.
Kashmir is a sovereign.
We come to an economic question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Last quarter, the performance of Indian industry, again very, very peculiar, but not the first time. They showed stagnating revenue, but increasing profits. Now, how do you explain this economics? The revenues are stagnating, but the profits are increasing. What's happening?
So one reason might be the lower input cost that these.
And what does that indicate? The lower input in an economy, while the inflation remains where it is not dropping so much, but the input cost is going down. What is the indication in fundamentals of economic terms? Input cost dropping, but the end result price is not dropping.
Sir, it might be because we are able to substitute a lot of expensive imports that were earlier imported, and secondly,
Like, can you give some example?
sir, especially in the manufacturing sector, like in the electronics, the mobile phones, the laptops, we are now beginning to manufacture.
But then if the end price is not impacted by these low cost imports,
Yes, sir.
it doesn't help the economy because you don't get the competitive edge.
Yes, sir.
Because the competitive edge comes by the final price.
Yes, sir.
So why this is not being reflected there? And as a result, our exports are not kind of catching up as we wanted.
So the exports are not able to catch up, and secondly, sir, with respect to the final competitive price, sir, I think one reason would be the taxation structure within the country might be hampering the end price, because we are having an inverted tax structure. And
So
so,
what? If there's a definite fall in the input price,
yes, sir.
should at least not that much be reflected in the final price?
Yes, sir. That should definitely be there, sir.
So which means profiteering?
Yes, sir.
Profiteering by companies.
Yes, sir.
Even the government support has been basically absorbed by these companies.
Yes, sir.
And they have not transferred those benefits to the consumer, in fact.
Yes, sir. So that the one reason might be, sir, because due to the COVID pandemic, many firms they were operating on the losses. So the subsidy.
In COVID, companies did not make losses.
Okay, sir. I was not aware of this fact, sir.
Yes.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, Vishnu,
Yes, sir.
good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Doing well. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Something on similar lines now. We'll take it from where the Honorable Chair left.
Yes, sir.
Are we going through a K shaped recovery?
Sir, I believe we are now back to the V-shaped recovery because earlier we were in a phase of K-shaped recovery, but now many reports, the economic survey suggests that most of the sectors they are rebounding back. The GST collections of 1.8 lakh crore per month also show that the economy, the most of the sectors of the economy have been able to jump back, sir.
So, wouldn't that alphabet be Z then and not K or V?
Yes, a V-shaped economy, sir.
I'm saying not V. Have you heard of Z shaped recovery?
No, sir, I have not
No.
heard of that. Sorry, sir.
Okay, no problem. But you say sectors we're not moving like this? Some sectors doing badly, some sectors doing well?
Sir,
Tell me
earlier.
an honest opinion. Give me your honest opinion. Forget about what is there in the, in the budget and etc. What do you think?
Sir, I also do believe that we are coming back to the V-shaped economy.
Look at unemployment.
Yes, sir.
You're very happy with the employment status?
No, sir. That is a matter of concern for
There
us.
you go. That is one.
But then the unemployment has also been coming up because the automation is also rising. Though the sectors are seeing an increase in the output, the unemployment is there because of the skill mismatch, the supply-demand mismatch.
Okay.
in the
Anyways, let's move out of this. Okay, we'll move to something else.
Yes, sir.
How did the subprime crisis come to an end?
Sir, in 2008 subprime crisis. Sir, in 2008, the countries they began fiscal stimulus packages to their economy to come out of recession. So most of the countries around the world,
Give me one word. One word answers it all.
sir, pump priming.
Okay, anyways, I'll leave you with that thought. Okay, have you heard of this concept of too big to fail?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about it.
So these are the corporates or the corporations which are too important for an economy, and they are deemed to not fail. And if they fail, then that they will be catastrophic for.
Very
the
good. I'll pose something else to you. What about too big to jail? What will you choose?
Sir, I'm not aware of this term, sir.
You can comprehend it. Come on, Vishnu. Forget about who coined it or what it is, but I'm sure you can comprehend it. Your foreign service is your first choice also.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
So too big to jail, sir. If I may say, sir, it might be some corporations or some people who might not be put behind bars, or if they are put behind bars, then that will create a huge uproar within the system.
So what will you choose?
Sir, I will choose. Sir, I think I'll choose too big to fail, maybe, because if I choose too big to jail, then that might go against the rule of law, and that might not act as a deterrent.
Good. Anyways, my final question to you. Okay, we'll move to something else now, and tell me finally, India shares a sizable border with Pakistan,
Yes, sir.
and they are called by different names in different sectors.
Yes, sir.
What are the names?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware of that, sir. I'll definitely read upon it.
Okay.
Sorry, sir.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Vishnu,
Yes, sir.
everything is within you. Now come to the question. How Darwin theory of evolution is related with Lord Vishnu's avatar?
Sorry, sir. I'm not aware of that.
You aware of Vishnu's avatar
Yes, sir.
and relate the theory of Darwin?
Sir, I've read the theory about survival of the fittest.
What is the significance of Vishnu's avatar in terms of scientific significance? Hinduism called itself even. Think about it.
Sir, I think
The first avatar is?
the Matsya avatar.
Yeah.
Sir, it was
He lives in water.
water. Yes, sir.
And then second one is?
The Kurma avatar.
He lives in
The land, sir.
both.
Both land and water. Yes, sir.
And then?
Yes, sir. It shows a evolutionary path, sir. Thank you,
Okay. What is the significance of Bardaloi Satyagraha and role of Sardar Patel?
Sir, Bardaloi Satyagraha was led by Sardar Patel, whereby the land tax was too high imposed on the farmers. So the farmers, they under the leadership of Patel, they agitated to get the tax waived off, and it was at this place where the Sardar Patel got the title Sardar.
Okay. Sardar Patel is the famous leader of Gujarat, even India.
Yes, sir.
What is the similarities between Sardar Patel and Lord Ram? Why both are important for India?
Sir, Sardar Patel actually got inspired from Lord Ram, and he used to consider him as an ideal ruler. And I think that is where the similarities come in. Both of them, they believed
Tell
in,
me some work for both.
both
Similar
of them,
work.
So both of them worked for the welfare by Sardar Patel worked for the welfare by uniting the nation and ensuring that there is no balkanization, which ensured peace and stability. And Lord Ram, by making his life as an example itself, tried to ensure that peace and justice is prevailing within the state. And so both of them, they treated people equally, irrespective of their race, religion, creed. So the idea of impartiality and fairness was also shared by both the leaders.
Okay, Garba is a famous dance of Gujarat.
Yes, sir.
While playing Garba, women's wearing which dress? What is it
So
called?
Chaniya Choli.
Chaniya Choli.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are the main rivers of Gujarat?
Sorry, sir.
Main rivers.
Sir, the Sabarmati, the Tapi, and the Narmada are the major rivers of Gujarat, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, good name, God name. So, tell me what are the temple architecture in Kerala? What type of architecture is in Kerala?
Sir, in Kerala, there is the Dravida style of architecture which is followed.
Why this has been preferred there?
Sir, because in the south, the temples initially they were built very simply, but later on the gopurams were added to act as a grandeur. And so, secondly,
Okay. Corporate federalism versus competitive federalism. Your view?
sir, I think both are required for the nation because we need competition to incentivize the states to govern in the best possible manner. At the same time, sir, there needs to be we need to ensure that this competition does not get ugly, which might hamper the development of the state.
But what India is heading for?
Sir, I think India is having a mix of both cooperative and competitive because through Niti Aayog indices, rankings, through the competition of states to attract investment, we are seeing competitive federalism. At the same time, the relation between center state and the states.
Kerala is doing general well in the field of economy.
Yes, sir.
What are the extra source of economy to the Kerala?
So, firstly, would be the remittance that the NRIs from Kerala are sending.
What next?
So, secondly, would be the service sector that is contributing to the major. Especially, we have the two IT parks, the Cochin IT Park and the Techno Park. And
Only take IT parks. What else than IT parks at Kochi?
the airport, the seaport,
Okay.
the Cochin Shipyard Limited.
Okay.
Yes.
Difference between EEZ, that is your inclusive, and vice maritime zone, maritime coastal zone, coastal.
Sir, exclusive economic zone
Yes, and
considers up to
maritime, yes.
200 nautical miles. It
Yes.
falls within the jurisdiction, while maritime zone is around, sir, if I'm not wrong, 12 nautical miles.
Okay, no problem. This IMF and WTO, all sort of international forums,
Yes, sir.
mostly inclined to the developed country.
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yes,
So tell me what to be done to make it attractive to the developing countries. What 2-3 points?
So, firstly, the representation within IMF and WTO needs to be changed. The greater voting and the secretariat representation must be given to developing countries. So, secondly, the IMF and WTO must be made aware about the economic strength, because when we are seeing the developing world economies are now doing much better than the developed world economy.
Okay, a lot of things our finance minister or our foreign minister has talked about it.
Yes,
Some
sir.
2-3 major points being repeatedly told by India.
So, firstly, would be the idea of multilateralism within these bodies. So, second would be establishment of alternative institutions like New Development Bank of BRICS, which will try to rival the existing IMF and WTO. So this would put a pressure on them also because they would not want to leave the lucrative developing economies.
Okay, this Sri Lanka's bankruptcy
Yes,
as
sir.
well as bankruptcy be developed in Pakistan. What
Yes, sir.
fundamental difference you find?
Sir, in Sri Lanka, the major issue was due to the imprudent policies, or rather, hasty decisions that were taken.
But what
Because
similarity first you tell we find?
so
What is similarity first you
the
find?
similarity was both the countries, they owed a major share of their debt to China.
China.
China was a very big reason for their economic debt, and so secondly would be their spending, their external reserves. They were very much reduced, so that would affect their import coverage ratio. So as a result, it would place a big risk on their economy.
Okay, last question you tell me. Delimitations, a lot of discussion on this.
Yes, sir.
Why southern states? What to do to pacify the southern states?
So one major issue with the southern states is they feel their representation would be reduced because of the population.
How to pacify them? Any formula in your brain?
Sir, I had read one article in the Hindu regarding a formula, but I'm currently not able to recall it, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay, Vishnu, your interview is over.
Thank you, sir.
Just go out for a moment and come back.
Yes, sir.
Don't wait. Just go, come back.
Yes.